What is good with everybody? How is everyone doing, man? We are live with a bit of breaking news. I'm coming on here earlier than I usually would because I'm available earlier. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna talk about this, man, because this is interesting, man. Very, very interesting to see this happen. Did not expect Denzel Good to retire. Uh Especially it seems like everything was going for us, going well for us in terms of Denzel Good's recovery. So interesting enough, we do have some news. But really quick, you already know how we start this off, man. Shout out to everybody who pulled up. We got Robert in the building. Michael, Bryce was good. EJ, Van City, Dave was good. Was good with everybody. Don't don't overreact. We're chilling, bro. It is just a bit of a shock. Now, even after the pay cut, even after going from 3 million to 1 million, taking a drastic, we said it before, 66% of his contract cut. Um, he decided to retire. Now, hopefully, this for him. Hopefully, this is a time where he can just rest, spend time with family. But we're here to talk about the effects that it has with the Raiders, right? Because we know that if he was healthy, he was going to start for us. That's how good Denzel Good was, and he could have started for us at left guard, right tackle. He could have done it all for us, man. So we are losing someone that offers elite versatility. And we're going to get into that. Shout out to OG, Van City, my guy, SC, Tubby, SVT, Ant was good. Crispin, Coach Raider was good with you. But look, I see some people saying we're screwed. No, we're not screwed. In fact, I think that with this situation, it kind of fast forwards what Dylan Parham will have to do. Now, for some of us, that may not be the best thing to hear, right? Because we never want to have a rookie get thrown into the fire. We kind of experienced that last year with our first round pick, Alex Leatherwood, right? So, for some people, maybe throwing Dylan Parham out there may not be the best of scenarios, but in my opinion, getting him out there could be a positive, right? There was a lot, and I mean a lot of competition at that guard spot right now. There's a little bit less competition. Um, I I would not go out and say that Lester Cotton's the starting right guard. I know that there's some people that are really, really high on Lester Cotton, but coming out of camp, I haven't heard much about that. But listen, you guys, listen. In my opinion, let me pull it up for you guys. This is who I think the starting five for the Las Vegas Raiders should be. Now, this very well can change regarding this right tackle situation. Okay, so left tackle, this is easy. We got Colton Miller. I think that is solidified, right? Left guard, in my opinion, would have been Denzelle Good, and now it's John Simpson. Now we have Andre James starting at center. Right guard could be Dylan Parham. Right tackle should be Alex Leatherwood. Now, here's the thing. If our guy Alex Leatherwood does not pan out at the right tackle spot and they have to bump him back inside to the guard spot, well then there's even more competition again at the right guard position, right? Because then if Alex Leatherwood has to go back to guard, that means that Dylan Parham is now battling with Simpson for the left guard job. And that means that Brandon Parker is going to have to start at right tackle. I really hope that Alex Leatherwood brings his A game for the camp, right? We get pads on Wednesday. This is a big, big asterisk right here. The right tackle position, whether it's Alex Leatherwood and whether it's Brandon Parker, it can really change up the way that our offensive line looks. It really, really can. Now, in my opinion, John Simpson, he gets a bump in. That's not really somebody that I had penciled in before. I did not have John Simpson penciled in before this news, but he is now the starting left guard in my opinion, just because a guy like Denzel Good offered so much versatility. But let's look at what you guys are thinking about this. We got to be signing somebody now. That's why you see Daryl Williams in there. Now, Daryl Williams, this is a thing, right? Daryl Williams is out in the market, and he's a guy that we know offers elite versatility as well. And I'm talking about elite in the sense of he can play at an extremely high level in the right tackle spot, and he can also play at a high level in the interior at the right guard position. So we'll have to see what happens come Wednesday when pads come on and people really start to show their true colors. But this is very, very interesting. Now, I will say this. I wish Denzelle Good the best. Like, hopefully, this was the best decision for him. Maybe he just felt like playing football right now with his injury. Maybe he just didn't feel 100%. And you guys, we have to remember he didn't just tear it and go out of the game immediately. Denzelle Good tore his ACL, played the rest of the series, and then went out. So there could have been a lot more ligament damage done that we don't know about. So shout out to Denzelle Good. I hope he has a fantastic retirement, spends quality time with his family, this, that, and the third. But this is an interesting position where it leaves the Las Vegas Raiders because I definitely had Denzelle Good starting when he was healthy. So next man up mentality, we always have to have that mentality. That's just the way it works. Football has injuries, and this is one that, well, we just didn't expect. We really did not expect this. Ty, the Raiders is all love and respect. Coach Raider says Lester Cotton. Lester Cotton's a guy that hasn't played much. The last time he played was, I believe, in 2019 or 2020 in the preseason. So we haven't really seen much of him, but it does seem like he is on a good trajectory in terms of development, which I'm always happy about, right? I always want to see our guys develop into a higher role, but did not expect this to go down. I do not expect Lester Cotton to end up playing a starting position. Uh, do I think that he can? Maybe. Let's hope he has a phenomenal camp. At the end of the day, this is a guy, like I'm saying, man, he offered crazy good versatility and he played good at an extremely high level. No pun intended with that one. But Denzelle Good retiring, interesting to see how much more this brings to the offensive line in terms of intensity, because there was already going to be a lot of freaking battles because there's only two guard spots and we had about six guards that were fighting for jobs, right? And there's only seven linemen that get taken to game day. So extremely, extremely big on competition right now. Wednesday can't come soon enough. I hope that Dylan Parham can begin to impress. We know that Dylan Parham in college played the most at right guard. Dylan Parham played right guard, left guard, second, and he played a really, really, really small amount of right tackle, an extremely small amount of right tackle. But Dylan Parham played more right guard than left guard. So maybe John Simpson plays left, Dylan Parham plays right. But he's got to earn it too at the end of the day. It can't just be one guy goes down, Dylan Parham gets it, right? Illuminor is a guy who's played in this system. Illuminor is a guy that I have a ton of respect for. So we'll see what happens. I believe we're going to be all right, 100% LV. It's just so out of the blue. Did not expect this to go down. Did not expect this to go down. Our O line right now, I wouldn't be too worried about it. Teen Raider, because at the end of the day, yes, it was trending in a good direction for Denzelle Good to play, but he wasn't practicing. He was just getting out there, working with the trainers, and he wasn't really getting too much work. So maybe this is the right decision for him, right? Right decision for him. Hopefully, it ends up being the right decision for the franchise. I just didn't expect this to come after he took the 66% pay cut off of his contract, going from 3 million to 1 million. But it definitely makes sense, right? That he was so willing to do that, because maybe he just didn't know how much ball he had left in him. So we'll see what ends up happening going forward. But I'm very, very happy to see what goes on Wednesday, because when this stuff, when the pads come on and these guys get to hitting each other, it's going to be a different story, man. And for those of you guys saying Lester Cotton, well, maybe Lester Cotton just makes a freaking name for himself once the pads come on. That could very well be a big situation. My only thing with Lester Cotton is his lateral quickness seems to be very, very slow. That's my thing with Cotton. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But if we're planning to run a power scheme, it really couldn't matter, right? Because Gabe Jackson, I mean, his lateral quickness wasn't the best, but we'll see. That's my exact prediction for the season as well. Yeah, I really, really do hope that Leatherwood does end up panning out and playing right tackle. That's what I want to do. He wanted to be back, but no one knows his body better than him. Exactly, exactly. I'm not sweating good retiring. We weren't even expecting him to play a little over a week ago. In my opinion, after I was hearing the news that he was about to get cleared, that mini camp he was looking good, I was penciling him in as a starter. So I do think that we did lose a starter with I do think that we lost a starter with Denzel Good retiring, but I mean, when you go out and you draft one of the highest graded interior offensive linemen this year with Dylan Parham, bro, it's phenomenal, bro, phenomenal. Um, I believe John Simpson is going to turn into a great player. And you know what, Vital? I do think that my next film session this Sunday is probably going to be on John Simpson because I think that he is going to play a massive, massive role this season. He has to. Let's see. This is the time a lot of vets retire. That is very true. Very, very true. Any way we can trade for a right tackle still because we still got money. Yes, we can trade for a right tackle. The trade deadline is not up until like week 4 or 5 of the regular season. So there's a ton of time to trade for a right tackle. It just depends on who do you want to trade for. I mean, I don't think that any team is really going to want to get rid of a right tackle. I don't think so. I don't think so. But if the regime wants to, if the front office wants to, they can go out and trade for an offensive lineman. Yes. Let's see. I'm done with hope and expectations. I'm going to sit back and wait until we know our 53-man roster going into the season. At this point, our offense behind the line looks good. That's it. That's one way to look at it for sure. For sure. Joe's Coffee Shop that has dope. Hey man, if any of you guys are in the Bay Area, Berkeley, Albany, Richmond, Oakland, that area, this is my brother's coffee shop, man. So go check them out. Right there in Albany, in next to the Target right here out in the Bay, bro. So if you want to go show love, you can. This is his shop, bro. This is his shop. Let's see what's good, Red Nation. Shout out to for life in here. Let's see. Salute Robert Parham up next. You think? I definitely think that Parham is the guy that is going to probably get an increase of a role in camp soon, for sure. I mean, in my opinion, even though it's not a first or a second round pick, I think investing a third round pick into an interior offensive lineman is a massive, massive, massive investment, in my opinion. Right? I mean, John Simpson is supposed to be starting. He's starting. You don't really go out and get an interior offensive lineman against unless they're top 5 in their area in the first or second round. So getting one in the third round, that's very, very, very big of an investment, in my opinion. So, but yes, I mean, you can see here, this is who I project, or this is what I'm projecting to be the Raiders starting 5 right here. I would love to know who your guys' thoughts and opinions is on who you think will start. But this is mine. Colton Miller, left tackle, left guard, John Simpson, Andre James, center, Dylan Parham, right guard, right tackle is Alex Leatherwood. But like I'm saying, you guys, there is a really big asterisk at that right tackle spot because if Leatherwood does not pan out and he has to bump back into guard, and Parker has to then become the right tackle, then it really, really does switch things around, in my opinion, because now you have Parker at tackle, then Leatherwood at guard. I do think that at that point Simpson stays at left guard, but it just definitely seems a little bit off, in my opinion. So we'll have to see what happens. And I'm glad, right? At least it happened when we're about to put the pads on. Okay, I'm happy. I'm happy that if Good was going to retire, it wasn't when we were already working in pads. He was putting a bunch of reps in, kind of taking away from the other guys. But no, not really. He hasn't taken away any reps at all. He's really just been nursing that knee injury. And we'll get to see what happens going forward, man. Joshua says, I think Leatherwood and Parham are our guards for the future, and we got a top five in left tackle, and I think James steps up as a center. So we need a right tackle. Then we're set because of the depth too. I mean, if man, if our left guard has to be Parham and our right guard has to be Leatherwood, I mean, it'll be a tough task going out looking for a right tackle, man. They don't grow on trees. So I'm really hoping that Leatherwood pans out. Shit, even Parker, man. I hope one of these guys pan out, but they were really confident in bringing Parker back. They saw something in him, so hopefully we get to see what they see in him this year, man, for sure. Shout out to my guy Tavio in the building. Reddit for Life says need more depth or pick up a starter. Daryl Williams is probably the top guy, or there's JC Treader, I believe. Treader is a center though, but he's an interior guy. But I would definitely. I think that Daryl Williams has been the top guy on the market for some time now. I think he's still the top guy on the market. So if you're looking to go out and get a starter, I think that that's your starter. I think that that would be your starter. Sanjeev believes in Lester Khan 100%. He does. It would be very, very interesting to see how much Cotton plays in the preseason, and it'll be very, very interesting to see how he plays in the preseason because there is high hopes for him. I mean, undrafted free agent out of Alabama, you know that they're just a freaking factory for offensive linemen, defensive linemen. So, we'll see, man. We'll see. Says, doesn't surprise me. I already thought people were putting a little bit too much faith into a 31-year-old player coming off of an ACL injury. Yeah, that's also true. That is definitely true. Raider for Life says, yeah, we are we are player for player on the same page. Reddit for Life. We are player for player. You can see that we are player for player. Same page here. I completely trust this new regime. They have a plan. It's not like the previous years where I've been stressed out knowing we have needs and not addressing it. Well, this one is not as big, but we definitely have taken some minor hits in the trenches lately, right? Losing three defensive tackles in the last few days, and then now this one coming out with a starting guy retiring. Definitely interesting to see what we'll do, but I don't think it's something too worrisome in my opinion. Shout out to my guy Vitali says, I like that list, Andy. Let these guys play together and run plays. Get rid of the ball quick to help them along. And listen, you guys, I'm gonna be honest. Josh McDaniels, it seemed like he was preparing for something like this, regardless, right? If you heard how Josh McDaniels would speak in the pressers, even at practice, we never saw when at practice have we seen Colton Miller lined up to John Simpson lined up next to Andre James. We never saw a starting so-called group lined up next to each other. He always had number twos with number threes with number ones, twos with ones with threes. He was always mixing the group around for something like this if it happened. And guess what? The if it happened, right? He retired, and it is what it is. But it's not something that we haven't prepped for, right? We had a lot of different players working in with a different bunch of different schemes. That's usually how it goes in camp, and thankfully that's something that McDaniels has stressed a ton since he's gotten here. So now it shouldn't be so much of a foreign thing when we put the pads on Wednesday and you got a bunch of different guys lined up next to people that will start or will not start. So we'll see what happens. Yes, thank you for mentioning this. With Good retiring, the Raiders did act pretty quickly, and they did go ahead and re-sign Jordan Meredith. He was on the roster before as an offensive lineman. We did release him when we went out and signed what's his name? When we signed the defensive back, we went out and we released him. So he is back on the roster. So we'll see what happens with him. He very could get released again. I think that's probably what will end up happening. But yes, we did act quickly. We re-signed Jordan Meredith. He's back on the team. So another guy that'll just provide depth in the camp. So We'll see. Van City says, "Ooh, Jordan Meredith." Yeah, not the guy that you guys are hoping for, but yes, we did see that. So I've been asleep all day. I wake up and Denzel Good retires. Pretty much, critique. Pretty much, he decided that maybe it wasn't it anymore, man. So we'll see. Nah, I feel the pup list was just precautionary. I think that that's what it is as well, Ryan. I think that that's exactly what it is. So we'll see what happens. He says, I think we wait to sign anyone until after the Hall of Fame game, probably. That wouldn't shock me because I think then after the Hall of Fame game, we'll be pretty close to that first deadline where you have to cut five guys, go from 90 to 85. So we'll see. We'll see, man. Right now, not worried about anything. Camp is just starting. It's a long process for sure. The only thing is that I feel like a lot of us as fans are kind of speeding up the whole process because we have a game next week, right? We have a game next week, so I feel like a lot of us are speeding up the process because we want to see our team fully intact, right? We want to know who's out there because we see some football next week from our team. So we'll see what happens, but I'm not worried about the situation. Um, I'm glad that he did do this before the pads came on. And like I've been saying, man, Denzel Good, once a Raider, always a Raider. That definitely applies to him. Hope he has a fantastic, fantastic retirement for sure. I can't wait to see the DBs versus wide receivers on Wednesdays and pads. It's going to get hectic, man, and it's gonna look good. I cannot wait, man. Let's see. Is it because when he started working out that injury was lingering, really hadn't healed yet? That's possible. That is definitely possible. No starter will play. I agree. I hope no starters will play in the Hall of Fame game or in the preseason at all. Let's see. Does anybody else in this division have these kinds of questions with their offensive line? Um, the Chiefs, I think their biggest question mark is Orlando Brown Jr., which is a humongous question mark. I mean, that's their left tackle that's protecting the blind side of Patrick Mahomes. So that's a massive, massive question mark. But for them, it's not because of injury or health. For them, it's for money. So there's a question mark with the Chiefs. I don't think that the Chargers have one. And I think that the Broncos did a decent job to prepare their interior, but they really don't have the strongest offensive line. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Not gonna lie, folks, we need a legit right tackle for the future CB1 because our secondary is already good as fuck. By the way, I got high hopes for my guy Abram. Okay, good to see some Abram love. We don't really see that too often, so we'll see. Yeah, exactly. Q Chiefs offensive tackle. Yeah, that's what we were just saying. He said he's not playing without a new deal. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll definitely see. Everyone keeps trying to throw guys at the players. We already have most of these guys we drafted came from big college programs and take a little time. Agreed. Agreed. Uh, where did you get your Raider hat with white and green? My Raider hat with white and green. White and green. I don't even know. I have a Raider hat that's green, orange. It's like a Hawaii thing, but I'm not too sure, Shin. Let's see. You don't think he'll have some starting alignment playing the Hall of Fame game? Obviously, we know that we have Miller, but yeah, no. I think that Andre James will probably play. I think that Leatherwood should play, but I don't. I think that Parham should play. Simpson, but I meant like the starters in terms of the skill positions or on the defense. I don't want to see Max. I don't want to see Chandler. I really don't want to see Yasin or Averett. I don't want to see these guys because I know what we have in those guys, and I'm gonna be honest. I just don't think that we can afford to risk an injury in the preseason. So we'll see. So did Good take the pay cut to help the books before he retired? If he retired without the pay cut, would that cap have stayed on? No, when you retire, you you don't get your contract, you don't get your money. So he I don't think he got any money. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um Dylan Parham a starter for sure now. It's not for sure, but he definitely did make it into my top 5 list. This is who I think should be starting come week 1 against the Chargers. Hopefully these are the 5 starting guys. This is if it all pans out well in camp and Leatherwood looks strong at tackle. This is who I believe should start. But I don't think that there's anybody here that is a definite starter besides Colton Miller. Outside of that, I think everybody is fighting for some sort of a job. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Let's see. I don't want any starting DBs in the preseason. Me neither. Me neither. I want to see what our backup QBs look like. I mean, I definitely think that you'll see a lot from Stidham and Nick Mullins. I think that Nick Mullins, regardless, is going to end up taking that number 2 quarterback role. But we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. I think Parham's going to start. I can see that now. I would definitely love that to happen. Parham starting is something that I have said since day one. For him to start, and if you look at it, before I had him starting on the left side because I wanted Denzelle Good to start on the right side. With Denzelle Good retiring, Dylan Parham's natural position, or the position that he's played the most at, is on the right side. So this could actually help Dylan Parham's development in the short term, because now he's going to be able to get snaps at a spot where he's played a ton in college. He also played a ton of left guard in college as well, but he played more snaps and more significant snaps in college on the right side. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see. After today, free agent help is more a priority than signing D-Wall and Perryman, which fucking sucks. I wouldn't say that. I'm gonna be honest. I think that the top priority is still getting Darren Waller's contract, um, possibly getting a Perryman extension worked on. I don't think that he'll get one before the season, but I think we can definitely start working on it. Somebody said that Good got the 400,000 that was guaranteed for the year. Yeah, well, guarantees he's gonna get, but he didn't have much guarantee left. So we'll see what happens, man. I think that he ended up doing that in a way. Yes, it helped the Las Vegas Raiders take some money off the books, but he also took the pay cut because the cap was less for the Raiders, but he actually ended up getting more guaranteed money. So, he kind of played it how he wanted to, in a sense. Um, I think Lester Cotton definitely has a shot at starting as well. At least we got able bodies to go on that O line. Really quick, I want to pull this up because Sanjit did put a little clip on his Twitter of Lester Cotton. And before I head out here, I want all of us to head over to our guy Wasted Talent show that he's about to put on. We know that he's about to put on some real shit on his live over there. So we'll all head over there. But I want to pull this up because he Sanjeev put a little a little 10-second clip, and I want you guys to watch it. I think that the lateral quickness and the movement of this rep here is slow from Lester Cotton. Of course, he is a big guy. Like, Lester Cotton is a big guard. So that's Lester Cotton right there, number 67. This is preseason about 2 years ago. So you're gonna see him work down on the nose tackle, and then he's going to get up to the second level, all the way up to the third level. In my opinion, it's just a little bit slow. Like, it's just a little bit slow with Lester Cotton. So I don't think that he'll end up getting a starting role. I do think that it's just slightly too sluggish, in my opinion. It was a good rep. He helped the center, then he went up, got a big block on the safety, so it helped with the run. But this is just pretty slow, in my opinion. The lateral quickness, the get off, just like everybody's engaged, and he is still running towards his assignment. It just, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Lester Cotton. I think that he's a big guy, and he can definitely work in a power scheme. But hopefully the lateral quickness picks up. Hopefully his footwork picks up. If he really does want to get a starting job, I think that's about the only thing that'll kind of stop him. Is it slow or controlled? In my opinion, you definitely call this slow. Um, I'm no fucking expert, but you can see that everybody on the offensive line, once this play starts, is already engaged on their guy. So we're here. Everybody's engaged, just about, besides the right tackle. right tackles engaged, right guards engaged, and he is just now getting to their guy. And I know that his was a little bit harder of a block because he has to go downhill a bit. But you see the left tackle's job is also a tough block. He's also having to reach out. And you see that the left tackle's already in a better spot to guard his guys. So I think that it is slow. I think that you could maybe argue for controlled. I think it is slow, but it could get better. It could have gotten better. This looks like it was last year's preseason. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Definitely hope that Parham and John Simpson have a phenomenal camp. I hope that Illuminor has a phenomenal camp. Hopefully he can hold a spot down at guard. And we'll see. We'll see, man. We'll definitely see. But our guy Wasted, I do believe he is putting on a show now for his regular time. So let's all head over there, show him some love, and let's flood the comment sections when we get there. As always, you guys, I love you guys. Stay safe. Have a wonderful day. And I'm out, you guys. Peace.
Welcome to the Death Star, where our opponent's dreams come to die.